This story opens with a girl named Odo. She started her day and started getting ready. She gave her a quick change and now she was ready to go. She said goodbye to him and left. To welcome a new day, Sumi was working, and she got an order. Now Sumi and Ren started packing and they were talking. Suddenly she heard a bird's voice, and when asked Ren, it was his whistles. She stopped him and asked if working with her was not appealing to him. But he said he always enjoys her company, and she got relaxed. She was a little sleepy and Ren asked if she wasn't sleeping properly and was busy watching adult films at night. She called him a youngster and stopped him from such lusty talks. Suddenly their owner came and said to her that Ren had been talkative for the last few months. But that was good according to him. He gave Sumi a book as a present because a customer had left it. It was her birthday and Ren peeked at the book. Now after the work, he asked about the novel she was writing and said if she had told him about her birthday then he might have a present for her too. But she said he could leave her as a present, but that was not possible, and they started walking together. After this long way, she went home and relaxed by taking off her tight clothes because it was very difficult to carry such a load. She took the bath and now she was in her shorts, watching the show, and now it was midnight. Finally, our girl is 28 now. She was in a terrifying mood and was thinking about her past, that it was very difficult to pass her teenage and now she wanted something big in life. Suddenly her bag fell, and she saw the book. It was a real deal. She started reading it. She read a poem about becoming young, but it was difficult to read, and she thought about why someone wanted to become young again. She decided to get herself something and Ren was texting her, but she went to the store and while buying things she got a sudden shock. Her body was reducing size. Oh, shame, she reduced all the body weight and now she had become the little cute girl. Her total size was reduced, and she broke a bottle and was scared, so ran out of the store. She didn't go to her job and the owner asked Ren, but he told him that she was seriously ill and was in hospital, but he also didn't know what happened to her. He tried to text her, but she didn't reply to him because she was busy with her novel, and she was getting vicious ideas. Ren was worried about her, and the owner had also told him to check on her, so he went to her apartment and knocked but got no reply. The door was open, so he went inside and felt a pleasant smell because her clothes were there, but she wasn't. He was looking around, and she was out somewhere. Ren found that book and came to know what happened. She was very happy because her ideas were outstanding, and she could write a lot of novels now because she was very young. But suddenly she forgot her house and Ren came there and she asked who he was, and she was stressed. Her condition was cute, but it was a serious issue. He told her that she had to change into her real form, otherwise she could die, and she asked how he was so relaxed after seeing her in that form. He told her that he knew it happened because of that book and she refused to agree with him. And Ren started telling her about the poems that were written other than humans. Such poems have spiritual effects on humans, and said the poem she had read had some conditions to be fulfilled. First, midnight; second, moonlight; third, 28th age; and last but not least, virginity. She was shocked that all of them were fulfilled, and she was embarrassed because of her virginity. But it was a good thing, although he told her that she would die, and she split blood from different holes, and he told her that they had to go under the moonlight to change her, and they went. Now she read the poem he told her, and she started raising. Her body gained the proper appealing shape and now she was looking great. Ron was also looking at her because she was a real piece of stone in the dark night, but she asked for something to cover herself and he started looking for something, but she disappeared, and she ran. He tried to stop her, but she was changing her shape and kept on running because she wanted that book at any cost. She was all bloody and Ren came. She told him that she was a failure till now, but she had to work on her writing skills, and she could become a good writer with that book. She started crying and he told her that she was a good girl. She raised herself and now she returned him the book but fainted. Ren went to the Yami station to exchange the book, but his mind changed and he went back. Sumi's life was very changed. When she was a schoolgirl, everyone liked her writings and complimented her. She was very happy. But for adult Sumi, everything had changed, and no one liked her writing and they were interested in another angle and vision. She was frustrated and sad. Now she was 28 years old. Ron was at the station but changed his mind and went back. Odo was there and he told her that she'd go home soon, and she asked him to come with her, but he denied it, and Sumi was also there. Odo asked if she was his girlfriend, but he changed the topic and said he couldn't see her panties, so asked for something to cover her. Now he was staring at her, but in the panties he got, he was trying his best, and Odo asked if he was looking for a new sensation. He said yes, and she said he could find one at her school. He started thinking about Odo's school and she was shocked because Sumi had become smaller again. Now at their living place, Sumi dressed up and was staring at her, but Odo didn't like it and asked Sumi to become one of Odo's friends because he was looking for new curiosities. She asked what he meant, and he told her that the mysteries caused by spirits called curiosities, and after becoming Odo's friend she had to attend Kun's Girls Academy because Odo was studying there and it was a mysterious place somehow. Suddenly Sumi's button opened, and she agreed. He asked why she agreed for the first time and Sumi said she was an author, and it was the reason in itself, and her skirt got torn. A peaceful view, with good lighting, but he suggested her to recite the spell and she turned into a smaller size but with a naked appeal. Ron was irritating but he was enjoying it. The next morning Odo woke up and started getting ready. Now our girls were ready to go, and they left. Sumi was thinking about the information Ron had provided her, that this academy was prestigious in all manners. It was only for girls, and they taught good traditions and lessons there. Sumi was very excited to see the girls, and Odo told her not to be very close to her because Sumi was irritating to her. Suddenly Mari and Nodoka came, and they greeted. They asked about Sumi and Odo introduced her as a senior with a fake identity, and they left. Sumi was shocked and silent, and Odo called her apartment wife and left. Sumi tried to stop her, but it was no use. Now they were entering the school and Sumi thought that she had to collect data about the incidents happening in the school. According to Ren, she was still staring at others and Odo was irritated. Manami came and asked for her name and Odo introduced her and left. She was annoying. She went to the washroom and Sumi was crying because she had been there for 6 hours, but Odo gave her a snack and said she couldn't help her. She was about to leave, and Sumi asked where she was going. Odo showed her a place where she saw curiosity and Sumi believed her. Odo asked the reason and Sumi told her that she found confidence in her, saying she believed her. Now Odo told her about the markers for the sign she saw at the spot of curiosities, and Sumi believed all this and Odo was happy to hear that. Now they went out and Tama saw them. She called them naughty because they were coming out of a washroom together with a smile. Mari and Erika came and stopped her and apologized to Sumi. Nodoka asked for a proper introduction and they sat together. They were enjoying their snacks and started talking about males and the sensations they got from them when they hugged and all. As Sumi was older than them, they asked her, but in reality, she had no such experience but lied and said she always tore his clothes and enjoyed her time with a man. Shockingly disgusting, but the girls got shy from her. After all that, they talked about the incidents and Sumi started writing the information. They told Sumi that the girls got sick in the school, but as they got to their house, they became normal and ultimately, they left the school. Manami was coming and came to the class. The girls were holding Sumi. She told them not to bully each other and suddenly fell. She asked them to leave and Sumi to her. They went to the rooftop, and she asked if Sumi was bullied and our girl started crying. She told her that it was painful, but Odo and her friends were good girls. Manami asked if she had any goals and Sumi told her that she wanted to become a writer. Manami was very happy to hear that. Now Sumi was going, and Odo's friends tried to scare her but suddenly fell sick and Sumi was shocked. Odo saw the markers and was scared, but Manai was licking the floor. When Manami's parents died, she had nowhere to live, but her grandmother took her to her house and they started living together. It was hard at the start, but Manami was happy because her grandmother was very kind to her and she got the chance to get experienced with such an old hag. They didn't have enough money to get branded clothes but still were happy, because money can't buy happiness. Or they might, they don't know the shop. However, even in school her fellows were very rude to her and bullied her because she was smelly always and they knew the shop to buy good and fragrant clothes from. Our girl was frustrated. Now in the meeting room her grandmother came and the teacher told her about the fight she had conducted in the class. But the grandmother was sure that her granddaughter was an innocent cat, so she refused to accept it, and the teacher asked if she was trying to her to call a teacher a liar, and they had to stop arguing. Now Sumi was with Ren and she was not giving him any lifts, but he complimented her efforts and asked what she had experienced this time. A new experience, but Odo said she was very scared, and now he started telling them about the historical conclusions about the mysterious, and Sumi understood that. He told them to continue the school for one more day and Odo also agreed with him. Now the next day Manami was going and she felt something. In the washroom, dirty notes were stuck at the door and a slut was inside. But she was our girl and now she started telling Manami about her bad experiences again. Manami told her that she'd give her a reason to rest and was about to lick the shadow, but Sumi got shrank again and Ren came. Manami was shocked to see all this and our girl was shy. Ren started saying that he knew about the fact what Manami was doing. It was an ancient doing where people used this technique to kill monsters, and he had made a rough conclusion after getting the information about the 6 students that it was the same phenomena. Now he started smelling her and asked for her hair ornament, but she hit him and Sumi asked for it and Manami took that hair ornament to return it. But she licked Sumi and she was burning. Ren started helping and took her away. Sumi was seriously injured and same was Ren. Ren told her that it was all his fault and Manami was coming towards them and he asked for a favor. He told her to take care of Odo if something happened to him. He stood up and went back. Manami and her grandmother was sad, but she gave her the amulet and said it was all she had for her and this would protect her in all situations. Ren told Manami that how he helped Sumi and she said Sumi tried to snack, so that's why she attacked her. But he said Manami that it was a cursed amulet and it was passed from ages, no one knew about it, but it was dangerous. He also told her that it was playing with her mind. She was losing her thoughts and Manami wasn't ready to return it. He asked for it to return his sister but she denied and he did it. She got at cake this time with her technique and both of them were sick. Manami was remembering the torture she had to pass through and she was in pain. Her clothes were torn and Sumi came to Rin and she was almost fine. She asked if he would be fine and he said if Manami had not killed anyone then they both would be fine. He asked why she was still there, and she said she was a writer and she had to be there till the ending. Odo came and pushed her, and she started talking with Ren through eyes and Sumi was surprised. In the hospital, girls went to meet Manami and she was happy to see them, and Ren was telling about Manami and her powers which was lost now. But she went to a door and knocked it. At night Ren was reading the book written by Sumi and Odo was hearing it and she was amazed. Ren was making weird noises again and Sumi tried to stop him, but he told her how many times one heard that sound, could get married after the count. She had heard it 3 times and thought that she would get married after 3 years, but he again started making that sound and she was annoyed. Suddenly a girl came, and she slipped. She was Manami, and they were shocked to see her, but she apologized for the trouble she had caused them. She told them she would do her best to remove the bully with her hard work and Rin and Sumi were stressed. Whatever, she left, and they started their work. On the other side, Odo was trying to raise a plant with I don't know which power. But let's focus on the story. Ren came, and she got shocked. She punched him, and he was injured. She asked if he was weak and he had a silent smile on his face. Our girl with a heavy load on her chest was relaxing and after a wave of sadness she got excited and thought to buy herself a bear. She went out and a cat was there staring at her. She came back with the thing she wanted, and the cat was still there but went inside with her this time. Without her knowing, she started enjoying her drink and meal with the view of cherry trees and the wind cooling her blood flow in the big balloons. But suddenly she noticed her sushi was gone. When she looked around, the cat was enjoying its steamed food. Our girl forgot it and was thinking about lusty things when she got a message from Ren, and he had asked her for a favor. He asked her to open the door and Odo was there. Sumi didn't expect that and the cat left because a new guest had arrived. She welcomed her without a warm heart and served her a handful of tea. Odo said Ren was out for his checkup and our apartment wife asked if they had any health care. Whatever, and told Odo to feel at home, but it was all messy, so both the girls decided to make it done with their hands and clean the room. Now it looked like a proper home maybe. They chose to relax with a bath and went to a public bath. Mari was peeking at them. Sumi paid it and Odo started taking a bath and when Sumi touched her, she got wet. Now they went to the big tub with their graces and started talking. Odo asked why they had come there, and Sumi said the bath at home was tiny, so she had to shrink herself. But it was amazing to be in a big tub and Odo suggested she lose the excess weight instead. Now they were in the steaming room and Odo was jealous of the big, packed balloon so she punched her. It was hurting now but Odo was happy. The little girl wanted the coffee milk, so Sumi bought it and now they decided to have dinner. They went out and Mari was still peeking. Her mother told her to look after the shop and she left. Ran was looking for curiosity and saw a man named Tanaka. He told him to leave but Rin said he was there with all the lively things. He welcomed him and got excited to see his good things, but Ren was there for a favor and Tanaka asked if he had used his eyes. When he checked his eyes, they were gruesome. Our girls went to a ramen shop and got the noodles. They started eating and talking. Odo was repeating Sumi's questions because Sumi was asking about her house and family. Odo asked for another bowl, and it was good. Tanaka had agreed to help Ren and he was because this was the new neighborhood where gods dwelled. Tanaka told Ren about this place and said with his face, he couldn't send his sister back to her house. Odo was reading the book and asked Sumi if she had written it because Rin had told her so. Sumi said she did it when she was 15 and young. This was her only writing. Sumi told to her that she could sleep on the bed and after some time Odo was in a deep sleep. Our apartment wife stood up and covered her with a blanket and she also slept on the floor. Odo had a dream about Ren, and she woke up. But she slept again. The next morning when she woke up, she only saw a snack pack and was angry. Sumi came and asked why she had not eaten it and Odo said she needed more to eat. Sumi had breakfast and they started eating it. Odo was very happy. Now she removed her clothes, and they started getting ready for school. Odo knocked on the door because she also wanted to use the washroom and when she saw Sumi asked why he was dressed. Sumi said they were going to school together because she wanted some more stories and pushed her into the washroom. Odo was a little angry, but she was cute. Odo and Ren used to eat ramen when they were kids. A girl named Shizuku was sitting on the road and her friend Tomoko asked her to leave because tomorrow was her debut as a new beautician and Shizuku didn't want to leave. So, she gave her the umbrella and said it'd rain, and it started running. Tomoko left, and our girls were going to school. Sumi was excited again to see the young girls and Odo was annoyed. Nodoka and Mari came and met with them. They left, and Odo thought that things were repeating like before and she was anxious. This time our girl went to the washroom with everything she might need. She started writing her novel and the time passed. Now it was lunch break, and she went out with her lunch. She saw Nodoka and tried to summon her, but she was smiling. Sumi went to her and peeked. Nodoka was watching her show and was happy. She was again in the washroom and Odo came. They were about to leave, but Odo's friends came and Tamao said they were waiting for them. They asked to sit and talk and went to the rooftop. Odo started drinking the booba drink and Tamao asked her to sit on her lap. Erika apologized to Sumi if she was disturbed. Nodoka gave a huge candy to Odo, and she fed herself. Erika was talking about Manami and Mari said Manami wore sexy black undies. She had seen it when Manami tripped, and they told Mari's family had a bathhouse, that's why she was very curious about undies. Erika told them how she had imagined our virgin girl in undergarments and Tomeko also had some lusty thoughts about black undies. Suddenly Nodoka said if they wanted to see black undies then she would be wearing them and showed them. Everyone was shocked but Odo had no interest in that. They asked about Odo's panties, but she dumped them, and Sumi laughed. After all that Odo was excited and now, they were leaving to get the bath and Sumi was thinking about Mari's bathhouse. When they reached there, they met with Manami and went inside. Mari was there and Sumi paid. Mari thought they had met somewhere and Manami handled the situation. Now they were about to undress, and Mari was thinking lusty but she told herself that it was against their family tradition to peek, so she had to behave. But her mother came and asked to leave, but Mari said it was her death wish to be on the counter. The girls had left to take a bath and Mari was disappointed. Odo got undressed and went inside. Mari was disappointed, and our sexy girl was busy talking with Manami and suddenly Mari yelled. After that, our girls enjoyed their milk and Manami was happy to see Odo enjoying and Sumi getting a massage. Manami asked them to stay at her place tonight and Sumi wasn't sure. Sumi asked Odo and they had to agree because Manami had bribed her with snacks. Now they left and went to her apartment and Odo was enjoying her snack party. Manami was happy to see her, and Sumi wasn't sure why she was so happy. Manami went to pray for her grandmother and Sumi also went there. Odo wasn't sure about things so when they left, she placed her candies there and now Manami served them with food. It looked simply but when Sumi ate it, it was delicious. Odo also liked it when she ate it. Sumi asked to leave but Manami tried to stop them because the weather was rainy. Manami said she had a dessert for breakfast and our girl got lost. Now it was time to sleep, and the bed was ready. Odo fell asleep as soon as she lay. Manami thanked Sumi for her prayers and after some time it was difficult for our apartment wife to sleep because both the girls were a disturbance to her. At night Odo woke up because of noise and saw someone trying to open the door. She checked it and was shocked to see the footprints. She thought she wanted to go home so she followed them and suddenly Shizuku attacked her and called her a monster. But Sumi came and saved Odo. She said she could believe Shizuku and shrink herself, and Shizuku showed them the last video of Tomoko. Tomoko was scared because someone was trying to open her door and she got lost since then. Tomoko wanted to rescue her anyhow. Odo was shocked and Ren was also informed about it, and he was temporarily cured with an emergency treatment but was sad because he missed the scenes of the bathtub. Manami was also left with a note. Now Odo took Sumi to a weird place and said it was the entrance to the station they lived in. She started moving and reading the phrases and suddenly everything changed. They reached there and she went inside. Ren was there. Odo was happy to see him, and he thanked Sumi for taking care of his sister. Odo asked if he was fine, and Ren yelled at why they didn't take him to the bath. Sumi said he was fine and now they discussed the case of Shizuku and the curiosity. Ren told them a story of an old lady in 2014 when she disappeared, but the recording showed that she left on her own. She was found far away in a cave after a river and no normal human could cross that river and it was impossible for an old hag to cross that river by herself. But the old lady said a girl in red clothes took her there and Sumi and Ren came to the conclusion that it was done by Hong Yi, a legend in Taiwan. They discussed it and Odo wanted to help Shizuku, but Ren was against it, and she argued with him. He said Sumi was different from her because she was an intelligent apartment wife and Odo was a cute little girl. Odo got angry and said she could help Shizuku by herself and went out. Our man was stressed, and he asked Sumi what to do. Sumi also said it was his mistake because Odo was getting older and one day she had to marry so they had to understand her feelings and give her the chance. Ren was guilty of his behavior. Odo was sitting in the park, and she was wasting her time. Suddenly Sumi came, and she was shocked. She stayed with her and showed the number of Shizuku. She called her and now they went to the maid cafe and Rain welcomed them. Suddenly Shizuku came and scared Odo. They went to the roof to talk and Shizuku asked why she wanted to know about Tomoko. Odo tried to convince her, but she wasn't ready, and Odo said she could see the curiosities and got the information. Now Sumi was proud of her, and she was shy. Now they started looking for any clues and met with the people Tomoko had any connection. After spending the whole day, they found nothing, and they were sad but suddenly Shizuku came, and Odo got scared again. She asked them to eat ramen and they went to a restaurant, and it was delicious. They talked about Tomoko and Shizuku told them that she was a lively person, and she always enjoyed her company. But since she had lost, her life was dull and tasteless. Sumi was shocked and asked about the date Tomoko went lost. Now Sumi was looking for some data and she was in the library. She was using the computerized database to collect the information she wanted. Oto was also busy with her routine, but she was excited about the case. She went to a cafe and heard Rain and Yuri talking about the off of a maid and she came in. They were excited because Oto was perfect for that job and Shizuku bribed her, and she agreed. Sumi called Run and started telling him about the information she had collected, and our man apologized because he was half naked. But our girl was naughty, and she had no issue because she couldn't see him. They were shocked about the conclusions they had made. Oto was stressed in her job, but the customers liked her because she was super cute and other maids were happy because it was going well. After that, the maids complimented her and she was sad because she was a failure. Run was talking with Sumi, and he talked about another case and they got the last hint about their case. Sumi was shocked and the maids were about to leave. They were talking about Shizuku, and she was listening to them with Oto's dessert. She came in and said she could eat it in her room and Oto went there. Sumi and Ren were done with their conversation and Oto enjoyed her dessert and Shizuku asked why she was helping her. Oto said they were lost, and Ren was her only hope because no one had searched for them, and she was sad about it. But when she met her, she was happy because some people still need others, and this inspired her to help her. Suddenly she got the phone call and Sumi asked if she was alright and the door suddenly knocked, and Sumi said Tomoko was the real corrupt and today's story ends here. Subscribe to the channel for the latest updates about the real corrupt.